Okay, so for this video, I'm gonna try to kind of show the plus and minuses of each, of having an axe or having a knife. Um, like right off the bat, I'll just I'm gonna try to like do examples to show you the differences. But right off the bat is, so this is going to cut things by basically putting a lot of power behind the the edge and just causing it to basically split. You can draw cut to a certain point with this, but it's a 2.5 inch blade, and plus it's a really thick behind the edge thickness too. So that in comparison to, can't really show you this too much, but in comparison to this is a lot thinner. This is going to be a lot better for draw cuts. So anything that you want to cut, it's going to be able to cut things, materials that its own thickness is not gonna impede its movement through the material. But so this has a lot more edge. So when you do cut something, you can utilize that edge to make a draw cut. Once it hits something, that something is gonna run along this whole edge, causing this knife to cut a lot easier. So those are the main differences. And I'm just gonna try to think of things just to basically kind of emphasize them, to show them, see if it works out. So this is gonna be the first test. I'm just gonna try to cut that rope using both of these. So the axe and the knife have about the same sharpness. They're both sharpened the same way. The axe is way thicker behind the edge, but it does have the same sharpness at the apex, basically. So first up is gonna be the axe. And I'm just gonna try to cut right through this rope here. Okay, so as you can see, it isn't. So I got that shot. It didn't go completely through. It just frayed it. All right, so I'm gonna try the same thing with the knife. All right, so next up is the knife. Okay, so I could only think of two tests. So one was that one, the free hanging rope test, and the next one is going to be just a coconut test. All right. So what this one shows to me, this is the thought behind this first test. A knife is much better at dealing damage to a freestanding object. So like a hanging rope, a freestanding bottle, things like that. So it can deal a lot more damage to something that doesn't have that much reinforcement behind it. But an axe needs something that is rigid. It needs something that it will stay in place. So when you do hit it, you have a chance to apply the amount of force needed to basically cause that split. So this isn't cutting in a sense, you're basically splitting the object. So if I can still cut with this, but if I push down on my hand, it won't cut me unless I put enough force behind this so that it will split whatever material I'm using. But if I draw cut, then essentially I'm running a bunch of little tiny teeth across whatever material I have, and causing a cut in that sort of sense. So the first test was kind of to show that. It's basically to show that because you have a thinner behind the edge blade, and because you have a draw cut, you're able to cut things that are freestanding, because it takes less force to deal a cut with those two scenarios, with those two things in a knife. So the next one is just going to be basically brute force. It's going to be something, a hard object that you can't really cut, that you basically have to split. So there's things that, yeah, what causes them damage is to basically split it, not necessarily cut it. And then that's why I thought of a coconut test. So yeah, I'm gonna say at the end of the video, but just in case you have any questions, let me know, or any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, so next up is the coconut test. So coconuts are actually pretty tough. And first I'm gonna do it first with the knife, and then I'll do it with an axe, and then afterwards I'm gonna put some protection on the coconut and then try it again. So just to show you, I don't like shaving, but I can't think of any other way to do it. Just to show you how sharp it is. Right. So it does shave. And this is gonna be a little bit harder for it to shave, but it shaves too. So I'm gonna do first the knife on this thing, and I'll use the same coconut. I only got 2, and then I'll use this guy, and I'm gonna just do the back, but I will use this on the when it's protected later. Okay. All right. So first up is gonna be the Coldfield Tanto, and I'm just gonna hit it and see what it does. Okay. And basically, yeah. Let me see if there's any damage to the edge. And no, I can't see any damage to it. So yeah, that was it. So next up I'll try the axe. All right, so now the axe, I'm gonna just do the back. And this is the side that's compromised. So I'm just gonna do it like this and see what it does. I did not think it was gonna explode like that. Okay, all right. Oh wow, that just exploded. Okay. All right, so yeah, so pretty big difference. Okay, next I'm gonna do the one with protection. I guess I'm gonna just be soaked for a little bit. All right. Okay, so we are wearing safety glasses. But so now this next test is, so just the coconut, but now with protection. And I'm just gonna put this on there. It's gonna have to be like perfect. And I'm gonna smack it like right down in the middle with a knife and see what it does. And then I'll do the axe. So first the knife. And it didn't get down to the coconut, and that's basically how it looks. All right, so now the axe. So here's where the crack is, where the line is. So I'm gonna try to hit it right here, and there's where the coconut's too. So I'm just gonna do this edge, and if this doesn't work, I'll do the other side. So here it goes. All right, so that's that, and the coconut is perfectly safe, actually. Wow. Okay, so now I'm gonna try it again, but I'll use the edge. All right, so I forgot to show you, but this is how it looks. This is where the axe hit. But now I'm gonna try to hit it here on this side. This side's still fine. There's no like real damage there. So I'm gonna put it like this, and it's gonna protect my coconut, hopefully. All right, and I'm just gonna hit it with this. Okay. Let me pick that up and I'll show you in a second. All right, so I'm gonna show you this. It did go right through the helmet, and what happened is it basically hit here, glanced off, but it cracked the coconut all the way down to here. So it did go through. I ended up hitting it mostly on the side, not like a square hit, but it did glance off. So now, just the last thing, just to get rid of this coconut. And I'm gonna feed it to the chickens, so it's not really gonna go to waste. I'm gonna try to go right in the middle with axe. Okay, so yeah, it kind of exploded too. All right, so yeah, just to show you the difference of what you get from an axe to to a knife. You get a lot more cutting power with a knife. You get a lot more chopping power with an axe. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, I'll do my best to answer them.